mountain, and I look down and see a world I was once underneath. I stand on this mountain and I look down. My mind is more than it once knew. Then I knew. Then I knew. Then I knew. Then I knew. Now you're here. You're here. You're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be than foundly see. Foundly see. I climb down this mountain and I look around just to see that everyone used to be me. I climb down this mountain and I look around, my mind embracing more than the truth, than the truth, than the truth, than the truth, than the truth. Now you're here, you're here, you're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be. Found me sing, found me sing. I once was blind, but now I see the beauty of the world before me. Now you're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be. Now you're here, you're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be than found me sing, found me sing, found me sing. Found me sing.
Here, look right here. I don't think. Oh, help me. Help me.
Hi, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I was supposed to hit this one. But I guess it's okay to start with falling off the porch. Thank you all for being here. You guys, as you know, tonight is Aussie True Crime Sunday with our special guest, FarQ. I'm going to run through, say hello to everybody. Thank everybody for being here. You awesome folks. I appreciate you all for being here and spending your Sunday evening with me and FarQ. I believe we have a cold case to look at tonight and some other Aussie things because we're going to Downunder. I know before we even get started, I look exhausted. I look tired. The car show was this weekend. It was phenomenal. It was absolutely amazing. It was the National Mustang Show. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. We had so many people that were interactive and were asking questions and wanting to know about the statistics and the missing people, and people were really interested in the missing people. And thanks to our beautiful ArcticFox, we had the guitar there for the raffle giveaway for Aiden Clune to help fund the search for Aiden Clune that's coming up. So we had a lot of people that took the little cards. I thought I had one over here with me, but I think it's over by my purse. But it's on my community goal. Those of you guys that have seen it, it was a purple guitar that Aiden's mom, Amy, made with the QR code and stuff on there. And then we had a big poster on the front of the table, and then the guitar displayed on the table. So it was amazing. Shout out to Arctic for being an amazing human being and doing the damn thing and making sure that it happened, that we had the guitar there to do the giveaway to help raise some donations for Aiden Clune. For many of you guys that know, I'm here in Florida. That was at Desertland. We have 2 seasons. We have hot and hotter, and it was hot with a sprinkle of wind. So other than chasing missing flowers down the sidewalk, the coffee cups came in great handy as a cool gift to give out for being up, coming up to the table and showing interest. And also they were phenomenal paperweights for the to hold the flowers down. So it was an amazing event. I had people that actually come up and ask about the Amber Alert reform that Arctic, I've created a flyer, laminated it, had it there on the table. So lots of people were interested in that as well. We gave out, I think I've got like 10 of these left, the Vladic cards. So a lot of people were really interested in accepting the cards. You had a few people that were like, no, I'm not interested. And we actually had a few couples that came through that were, the man was like, no, I'm not interested. And the woman was like, I'm totally interested. And then we ended up finding out that free water and chips work wonders for hustling people in to the table to listen to us advocate for missing people. Shout out to Bethany, Irina, and Jody, Vladic's sisters, that were there and helping advocate. They're soldiers and warriors for Vlad. We also had Aiden Clune's aunt and grandmother there, 2 beautiful women, 2 beautiful souls. It was absolutely amazing to bond with the family and feel so much love from them and so much sadness too. It's really a surreal event when you actually are able to make contact with families and see them in person, and when you talk to them on the phone and all the things. So it was really amazing. I'm really proud to have been able to do it, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without my team, my community, and my father-in-law. So shout out to everybody that was a part of the car show this weekend and making it happen, because we're out here doing the damn thing. So it was amazing. So now that I'm done rattling, I'm going to go through like normal and welcome everybody into chat. Of course, we had Kimber in here first. Please like, share, hit the notification bell so you never miss a live. I do randomly go live sometimes. Like earlier this afternoon, I went live and recapped the car show, just kind of hang out on my sun deck and showed some. I figured out you can do green screen. So I played with the green screen, Tom. It was really fun. Dandy says, happy Sunday, Kimber. Mom, hope you beauties had a fabulous weekend. I had a phenomenal weekend, Dandy. I hope you had a great weekend. There's our FARQ. There's our ArcticFox in the house. Chris is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure I don't miss anybody. There's Miss Paula. Thank you so much, Miss Paula, for being here. She's becoming an OG to the channel. Justice Jane's in here. Justice Jane, thank you so much for coming in. It's an honor to have you in the chat tonight. Thank you so much for being here. There's Crime Curious. She says, making dinner. Ooh, what are we eating, Crime Curious? Is it something good? Thank you so much for being here. Love you, long time girl. Let's see. Make sure I don't miss anybody, guys. My eyes are a little crossed. We got Tater in the house. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so I think I got everybody. Don't want to miss anybody. So thank you for everybody that's here. Please make sure you hit the thumbs up, share out the video, do all the things, put it on all your social medias and Discords. Do all the things. Hi, Dutchie. Thank you so much for being here, honey. And it just helps people see the channel and see the stories, and especially, ooh, chicken pot pie. Oh, girl, after my heart. It just helps the video get out there. We are going to cover a case tonight. And on last Aussie Sunday, we just kind of did like a Mod Podge. No, it was last time we did the massacre, and then the week before that we kind of did a funny, or was it the other way around? I don't know, guys. You'll have my brain is literally sunburnt. That's why I don't have my hat on, so you guys get to see the crazy hair tonight. So don't judge me. Like one of my favorite TikTokers, she says this, and I love it, and I'm totally stealing it. She says, "Don't judge me, judge mother-in-law." I about fell off my chair. Love it. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate everybody for popping in tonight. Before I do get started with the Aussie Sunday, I do want to highlight a flyer here. This is actually a gentleman that's missing out of Orlando. The flyer will read a little bit differently than the information that I'm going to provide for you. This is a family that Bethany works with, and she asked me to print his flyer. So we did print his flyer, laminated, and had loose flyers on the table to advocate for him as well. His name is John David Rouse. I think I'm saying that right. I may not be. On October 22nd, 2021, 43-year-old John Rouse of Mount Dora, Florida, was last seen in Orlando. Earlier that day, John was in the parking lot of a CVS in Claremont, Florida, when a bystander called the police because John had been sitting in his car for a long time. After being checked on by authorities, and then this is the body cam foot. Y'all can't even see it. Hang on just a minute. I'm just up here rattling off. So this is his flyer that I was reading from. It says, later that day, his vehicle was found abandoned in the middle of Sand Lake Road in Orlando. His cell phone and wallet were left inside. The vehicle was towed from the scene. His family reported him missing on November 6th after not hearing from him. John is 6'3", 220 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. He has a tattoo of the U.S. flag on his left arm and Santa Maria on his abdomen. He frequently spent time in both Lake County and Orange County, Florida. His family is desperate to find answers. If you have information on John, please contact the Mount Dora Police at 352-735-7130. So I'm going to add just a little piece of extra information to that. I'll leave it on the screen for anybody that wants to screenshot it. I'm also going to put this on my community wall and Twitter. What I'll do is I will put him on Twitter tomorrow when it's hashtag Missing Poster Monday. That way we'll get more eyes on it. I did go ahead and post him on my Facebook wall. If anybody wants to go and grab it from my Facebook wall, ArcticFox said after the live, he will be putting out a short on him as well. This is the QR code for his link tree. It'll take you to some articles and other information on his case. But he's actually missing from around iDrive, and that is where the Mustang car show was yesterday, was on iDrive. So he was on the front side of the table, and I had a lot of people ask questions about him as well. So sharing is caring, and advocating the correct way is the best way. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Hey, y'all. So good to see everyone. I'll be back in chat later after 8. Okay. Thank you, Dutchie, for coming in. Much love, girl. Thank you so much for being here. So I did want to go ahead and feature his flyer before we get started on Aussie Sunday tonight, since we haven't previously talked about him. So I want to make sure that I did highlight him, and that way he is, has been highlighted this weekend. And that way, and it will be a flyer that I continue to share, especially on Missing Poster Monday is when I put out the majority of my flyers. I do flyers periodically anytime, but generally Missing Poster Monday is when I put out mass flyers, because you use that hashtag. It gets a lot of traction. The hashtags do work. All right. Thank you guys so much. So much for being here tonight. I appreciate you guys, each and every one of you. If you guys are in chat or in the bushes or however you need to be, it's fine with me. As long as we get the cases out there and we're able to see the people's faces, that's what matters. I just realized who we were missing. Doodlebug. She may be dealing with the boy. Yes, and Arctic, I had a lot of people ask me about the reform thing too. So, and it was on the front side of the table. I hung it. The green binder clips were a lifesaver. So I hung it on the front side of the table. So a lot of people were really interested in that too. So hopefully we got some signatures out of that as well, because this is a really great cause. If you haven't already signed this, I know most of the people in the chat have, if you're on replay crew or if you're hiding in the bushes, please sign that. It's very important petition that we really need to get some traction on. All right, guys, give me just a second to let Facebook load back up, and we will get started. The woman of the hour on the Pantail. You are so welcome, Arctic. Thank you so much for coming up with the idea of the car show. You know, guys, if you didn't know, our ArcticFox was in a box on TikTok. And Bethany and Melissa with the pink hair and Rosie are always open to good ideas because together we're stronger. And especially when we brainstorm and you come up with ideas. And Arctic was like, what about a car show? So I cannot take full credit for that. Arctic is the one that came up with the car show idea. And I was like, wait a minute, I know a guy. I might be able to make that happen. And then Arctic came around full circle. Stirring my pot here. Full circle around. And he made the guitar happen for Aiden Clune as well. So, guys, I'm honored. And, I mean, Arctic's been my ride or die damn near since I started my channel. Damn near since he started his channel. And he's an amazing human being. So, please, if you're not already subscribed to his channel, which everybody in the chat probably already is, but if you're on Replay Crew, please go subscribe to Arctic because he's got back in the saddle. He's doing interviews with families. He is a machine at putting out shorts and missing flyers and all the information. He's got his deep dive premieres that he's been doing again. So definitely we need more people in the community that are here for the right reasons and that want to do this for the right reasons because it means so much to the families to do this for their family members. Because if you've never had a missing person, you don't understand what these families go through. But us as advocates, we get firsthand of what these families go through. Even Craig, our ghost host. You going to come over here and say hello? He was even there. And he came in and overdid himself and walked around too much. And then he did a phenomenal pro job at holding a chair down. He's a pro at it. You're here for the right reason. It's important. Thank you so much, Chris. Crime Curious is sending all that love. Send all that love. Send all the love. Okay, guys. Hopefully Facebook's open by now because I'm probably delirious at this point. Pay no attention to the crazy lady on panel. I appreciate you guys tolerating me and putting up with me and enjoying all the. Okay, so let me go ahead and call Far. Get her pulled up here. Because StreamYard does not like her headphones. So we're calling her. The super secret squirrel phone. Uh-oh. Is she there?
Hello.
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 How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm well. I just want to tell you before we start, because I can't see or hear except you on this, I have to turn my telly up when you do anything. But my television is about 10 seconds behind.
Okay. Yeah, and then StreamYard has like
you.
a 2-second delay too, so you're good. I'll just try to remember that your telly is behind. Hi, Jody. Thank you for being here. Nicole, thank you so much for being here. Much love to everybody that's coming in. So Far has sent us all kind. You can hear her. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chris. You're awesome. Thank you. Because, guys, without the chat, like, I can hear what's going on the desktop. So sometimes if you guys can't hear it or can't see it, let me know. Because I'm like, just like the poster. I'm just reading away. I'm just, you guys couldn't even see it. Couldn't even see it. So how was your weekend?
Yeah, not too bad. I got my backyard done. That's about it. I put my heater on. It's cooling down.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's beautiful. I don't like the heat so much anymore now that I'm older.
Oh, I don't blame you. I'm kind of going to be the same way. I don't really care for the heat anymore. Like, I could do it when I was younger, but not anymore. It just, like, takes your breath. It's no fun at all.
It does. No, when I was younger, no problem. But now, nope, can't do it. Okay, we've got some birds again first, and then we've got some poems, and we've got a film clip.
Okay. So this is the magpie. These guys are super cool. They're the ones that can talk, right?
One of the poems. Yeah, magpies can talk also. Not as good as cockatoos, the galahs.
These guys are beautiful, though.
But they can talk.
Cool. That is so cool. None of our birds make those cool sounds.
I love the magpies. When I lived on the island, the magpies would bring their young over and I'd babysit them while they went out to hunt.
That is amazing. Oh, no. Are you still there? Peter just like totally freaked out. Bart, can you still hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry.
Okay. You're fine. You're fine. My computer just like flipped out at all. The screen went all crazy. What? I don't know what the hell that is. Something's popping up. It's wanting me to update something. I'm not updating something. I'm in the middle of a live. Rude. Doodlebug is in the house. I mean, hell, you would think the computer could see I'm doing
Hey,
something.
dude.
Nicole says, I'm obsessed with watching videos with birds talking and dancing. It's pretty incredible and ever so slightly creepy. So then we have a compilation of one of the most beautiful bird calls, Australian magpies singing. So who is this offender and what has he done? Oh, we haven't got into the case yet, Sunday Doodles. Welcome in. We're just looking at birds right now. We're looking at all the beautiful Aussie birds that Far sends us to be able to experience. Okay, next we have a cockatoo. These are considered exotic birds over here. I was telling Far that these go for like $1,500. Some of them go for more than that over here. Beautiful birds. Doodle says, oh, now I've heard a cockatoo. Doodle. Oh, my Lord.
They are beautiful birds. That's what Petey is. The one who wants to rip my face off. She's a cockatoo.
Petey, he looks so cute. You couldn't imagine he was a psycho.
Psycho bird.
Welcome, Klein. Thank you so much for being here. They are beautiful birds and very loyal. This guy's only got 8 bites. He sounded pissed off. How do you say their name? Galahs? Galah?
That's a galah. That's a baby galah wanting to be fed. So when you've got the kookaburras and you've got guys singing, then you have the galahs come along with their, yeah. And when you've got about 500 to 1,000 of them flying over, the sound is unbelievable.
I can imagine. Right. Noisy little effers, right? So this is another galah. These are really expensive over here. There's a Marlena Cantu. I watch her on she's a bird person YouTube channel. She's freaking amazing. And she has one of these birds and he loves rap music. He like bobs his head and he's all like beautiful babies. Hi, Peggy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys all for being here. We appreciate you guys coming in on our Aussie Sunday. All right. Let me pull this up.
Now, the glass are the ones when I was a kid used to get really drunk. You don't see it anymore. But yeah, the pink and greys were the ones that would come in and get drunk, not the cockatoos. They left the alcohol alone. They were smarter.
Okay, then I have a man from Snowy River.
Yep, man from Banjo Patterson poem. If you play that first and then play the poem will
It's going to take it a minute to load here, guys. Let it buffer for a second. It must be windy outside. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you. Usually if you let it buffer for a minute, it'll stop all that craziness. Okay.
Bid the mob good day. Look!
Okay, ArcticFox wants to know, well, with it being that it is Aussie Sunday, what do you think about Robert Irwin's new side hustle, Far?
I didn't know
You didn't.
he had a side gig.
Yeah, he's got a side hustle going on. Apparently, he did an underwear commercial.
I didn't know. Oh, did he?
Yeah. I don't have a clip of it.
Oh, the things we do.
I might be open. I take the man from Snowy River. Oh, wow, y'all. Rawhide. Look, they're all going crazy. Oh, Doodle says he has a nice beard. Chris wants to know, do you have any
that was the film
bushwhackers?
clip. Yeah. Quite a few. I'm probably a fucking bushwhacker.
Let's see what this one is here. I think this
So that was the
poem.
film. Now, he had hardly ridden a horse before that film, and he did most horse work himself in that. So now this is the poem that will explain itself.
Like, you guys don't have horses like naturally wild over there, do you?
We have Brumbies. That's what he was rounding up. The Brumbies in Kosciuszko. They're just the same horses that are bred over the years.
So they're like horses that are bred on farms.
Yes, and escaped and become wild over the years. We still have Brumbies, but we're yeah, it's like
Okay, Ari wants me to check Discord. Let's see what he had sent us. This is loading.
Motivation, but the word had around that the cult from old Regret had got away and had joined the wild bush horses. He was worth £1,000, so all the cracks had gathered to the fray. All my stations near and far had mustered at the homestead overnight, for the bushmen love hard riding where the wild bush horses are, and the stock horse snuffs the battle with delight. There was Harrison, who made his pile when Pardon won the cup. The old with his hair as white as snow, but few ride beside him when his blood was fairly up. He would go wherever horse and man could go. And Clancy of the Overflow came down to lend a hand. No better horseman ever held the reins, for never horse could throw him while the saddle girths would stand. He learned to ride while droving on the plains. And one was there, a stripling, on a small and weedy beast, was something like a racehorse, undersized, with a touch of Timor pony, 3 parts thoroughbred at least, and such as are by mountain horsemen prized. He was hard and tough and wiry, just the sort that won't say die. There was courage in his quick, impatient tread, and he bore the badge of gameness in his bright and fiery eye, and the proud and lofty carriage of his head. But still, so slight and weedy, one doubted how to say, and the old man said, That horse will never do for a long and tiring duck, lad. You'd better stop away. Those hills are far too rough for such a... So, his friend, I think we'll let him come, he said. I warrant he'll with us when he's wanted in the end, for both his horse and he are mad.
I'm Robert Irwin, and today I'm going to take you guys on set for Vaughan.
Twice as steep and twice as low. The horses could strike firelight from the flintstones every stride. The man holds his own, that's good enough. The snowy river riders on the mountains where the river...
I'm Robert Irwin, and today I'm going to take you guys on set for Vaughan.
To Rome, but nowhere yet such horsemen have I seen. So he went. They found the horses by the big mimosa clump. They raced away towards the mountain's brow, and the old man gave his orders. Boys, go at them from the jump. No use to try for fence fighting now. And Clancy, you must wheel them. Try and wheel them to the right. Ride boldly, lad, and never fear the spills. For never yet was rock that could keep the mob inside if once they gained the shelter of those hills. So Clancy rode to wheel them. He was racing on the wing where the best and boldest riders take their place, and he raced his stock horse past them, and he made the rangers ring with the stock whip as he met them face to face. Then they halted for a moment while he swung the dreaded lash, but they saw a well-loved mountain full in view, and they charged beneath the stock whip with a sharp and sudden dash, and off into the mountain scrub they flew. Then fast the horsemen followed, where the gorges deep and black resounded to the thunder of their tread, and the stock whips woke the echoes, and they fiercely answered back from cliffs and crags that beetled overhead. And upward, ever upward, the wild horses held their way where mountain ash and Kurrajong grew wide. The old man muttered fiercely, "We may bid the mob good day. No man can hold them down the other side." When they reached the mountain's summit, and Clancy took a pull, it well might make the boldest hold their breath. The wild hop scrub grew thickly, and the hidden ground was full of wombat holes, and any slip was death. But the man from Snowy River let the pony have his head, and he swung his stock whip round and gave a cheer, and he raced him down like a torrent down its bed, while the others stood and watched in very fear. He sent the flintstones flying, but the pony kept his feet. He cleared the fallen timber in his stride, and the man from Snowy River never shifted in his seat. It was grand to see that mountain horseman ride, through the stringy barks and saplings, on the rough and broken ground, down the hillside at a racing pace he went. And he never drew the bridle till he landed safe and sound at the bottom of that terrible descent. He was right among the horses as they climbed the farther hill, and the watchers on the mountain, standing mute, saw him ply the stock whip fiercely. He was right among them still as he raced across the clearing in pursuit. Then they lost him for a moment, where two mountain gullies met in the ranges. But a final glimpse reveals on a dim and distant hillside the wild horses racing yet, with the man from Snowy River at their heels. And he ran them single-handed, till their sides were white with foam. He followed like a bloodhound on their track, till they halted, cowed and beaten. Then he turned their heads for home, and alone and unassisted brought them back. But his hardy mountain pony, he could scarcely raise a trot. He was blood from hip to shoulder from the spur, but his pluck was still undaunted, and his courage fiery hot, for never yet was mountain horse a cur. And down by Kosciuszko, where the pine-clad ridges raise their torn and ragged battlements on high, where the air is clear as crystal, and the white stars fairly blaze at midnight in the cold and frosty sky, and where, around the overflow, the reed beds sweep and sway to the breezes, and the rolling plains are wide, the man from Snowy River is a household word today, and the stockmen tell the story of his ride.
Oh, wow, that was beautiful. Hi, PJ. Thanks so much for coming in.
I love it. Yeah. And so Banjo Patterson wrote that, and Banjo Patterson was reciting it there. The next one, Clancy of the Overflow, is also by Banjo, which he's going to recite.
I'm going to let this buffer for a minute. And Arctic has us.
So I hope that story explained our film clip. Sorry.
No, you're.
I had written him a letter, which I had, for want of better knowledge, sent him down.
Have a delay. You're good. I don't know why this is doing this. Okay. Let's see. Pull all this down. Is what Rick has said. Arctic says you will want to be near your TV when we play what he has sent for you. Are you ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
And today I'm going to take you with me on set for Vaughan. I'm Robert Irwin, and today I'm going to take you guys with me on set for Vaughan.
My goodness. My very goodness. Well, now I officially feel like a dirty old woman.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I have to say,
Oh,
now that was
is
the
fucking
nicest
hilarious.
snake
Oh.
I've seen in a long time.
Oh.
That was a beautiful snake. My Lord, I feel like a dirty woman.
Oh, fuck me.
Hey, those were about the words I was thinking, Fart. Well, it's official, y'all. It's been good. It's been fun being here in the States, but I'm going to Australia. They got really nice snakes over there.
Oh, we kind of do.
That was some quality reptile right there. My Lord.
Oh,
Woo, I need some sweet tea.
fuck. Oh.
Lordy mercy.
Oh.
I might
Okay,
need
what do we have
water
to
after
do?
that. PJ says y'all need Jesus.
Oh.
Back to her Bible studies. My ass.
Pray for us, PJ.
Arctic says, in the words of the
Oh.
crocodile hunter, holy crikey, mates. Dude, you ain't shit.
Crikey, all right.
My goodness. Note to self. Never go to male strip show in a skirt with no panties. Facts. Those are facts, Danny. That is a public service announcement. Oh, Jody, what did you miss? Lord, girl, you're going to have to back it up. My goodness. Doodle is such a good influence. Yep. Here's Doodle Innocence right here. This is Doodle's Innocence.
Well, that was funny.
Oh my goodness. Going to hell in a handbasket. I do. I feel like a dirty old woman now. Dirty old woman. All right. Good Lord. Let's calm down a little here. I may have to bookmark that one on TikTok. Hi, Drippy. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So this is Banjo Patterson's Clancy of the Overflow poem, animation, Australian bush poetry.
I had written him a letter, which I had, for want of better knowledge, sent to where I met him down the Lachlan years ago. He was shearing when I knew him, so I sent the letter to him just on spec, addressed as follows: Clancy of the Overflow. And an answer came directed in a writing unexpected, and I think the same was written with a thumbnail dipped in tar. 'Twas his shearing mate who wrote it, and verbatim I will quote it. Clancy's gone to Queensland droving, and we don't know where he are. In my wild erratic fancy, visions come to me of Clancy, gone droving down the Cooper, where the western drovers go. As the stock are slowly stringing, Clancy rides behind them, singing, for the drover's life has pleasures that the townsfolk never know. And the bush has friends to meet him, and their kind voices greet him in the murmur of the breezes and the river on its bars. And he sees the vision splendid of the sunlit plains extended, and at night the wondrous glory of the everlasting stars. I am sitting in my dingy little office, where a stingy ray of sunlight struggles feebly down between the houses tall. And the fetid air and gritty of the dusty, dirty city, through the open window floating, spreads its foulness over all. And in place of lowing cattle, I can hear the fiendish rattle of the tramways and the buses making hurry down the street. The language uninviting of the gutter children fighting comes fitfully and faintly through the ceaseless tramp of feet. And the hurrying people daunt me, and their pallid faces haunt me as they shoulder one another in their rush and nervous haste, with their eager eyes and greedy and their stunted forms and weedy. For townsfolk have no time to grow, they have no time to waste. And I somehow rather fancy that I'd like to change with Clancy. Like to take a turn at droving, where the seasons come and go, while he faced the round eternal of the cash book and the journal. But I doubt he'd suit the office, Clancy of the Overflow.
Oh, wow. All right. We have...
So that's some Aussie poetry.
I love it. It's so beautiful.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I love poetry. Hello? Okay. If he's what? Are you going to SolCon?
Me watch SolCon.
Oh, Minnie called. I thought I was on mute. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Yeah, this child, he has like a radar when I go live. Okay.
Like my dogs.
Oh my God. Y'all didn't even want to hear he Heathen child.
Clad ridges raise their horn and rugged battlements on high, where the air is clear as crystal and the white stars fairly blaze at midnight in the cold and frosty sky, and where, around the overflow, the reed beds sweep and sway to the breezes and the rolling plains are wide. Yes, Australia is a beautiful country. Please, keep Australia beautiful, eh?
Okay, so since I wasn't muted, Minnie called to ask Craig if he was going to sock on. And I asked Craig, and Craig said, what? And Minnie goes, suck on these nuts. I'm like, what the hell, man? The hell off my phone, I'm live. Could have called him with that shit. My man.
So Jack Thompson, the one who was just in that Keep Australia Beautiful ad, he played Clancy in The Man from Snowy River.
Oh, wow. I love that. I love that. Like, horses over here, our wild horses are called
Hey
Mustangs.
there, friends. Dave Politis, Canadian Missing Project.
But
This is Huck TV.
like how you said you guys are losing yours, we're losing ours too. To people rustle them when they're not supposed to. They're supposed to be protected, and also the wildfires.
It's really sad. We have people go up and get them. We've had, them being shot from helicopters.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There's going to be nothing left soon. Nothing.
That's horrible.
Oh, shit, yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, humans just can't leave things alone.
No, humans suck. After doing this for too long, like, you just realize how mean the world is and how ugly people are. Like, people really suck.
Oh, yeah. It's sad. The whole world's out of balance.
It is. I want to ask you, have you ever been here to this place?
To go?
Yeah, this rock.
Yeah, oh no, I've never been to, well, it was called Ayers Rock. It's now been handed back to the traditional owners. So now it's called Uluru. When it was Ayers Rock and the Whites owned it, you could climb that. That's where Azaria Chamberlain went missing from, Ayers Rock. But when we handed it back to the Aboriginals, they gave it back its traditional name, Uluru.
And you guys had someone go missing from this?
That's where Azaria Chamberlain was taken by the ding.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Fart. I have so many names in my head; they all run together. I don't know. I was drawn to this picture. I almost used it from the thumbnail tonight.
Same here. Oh, it's a beautiful rock. Absolutely beautiful rock. But yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. A dingo took her.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's such a big red. Yeah, but like I said, you're not allowed to climb it now. Then, yeah, you're only allowed to stay so far away from it. Yeah, it's been given back to the traditional owners, and they don't want it's sacred. They don't want anyone climbing it.
I've heard people like talk about the energy that comes from it, like even when you're driving like towards it, the road or the area, that like it has a very strong energy that
I've heard that. I've heard that also. I personally haven't been there, and I can't think of anybody I know that has been. But yeah, apparently there's a lot of energy that comes from the rock.
I don't know why I was really drawn to it. I almost used this for a thumbnail tonight, but I went ahead and did the platypus. I think I used the platypus tonight.
Oh, it's a mystical rock. It is. It's beautiful.
Okay. Sorry. Side note, y'all. I just wanted to ask Far about that. I thought y'all might be interested in it too. It's almost looks like one of the old Windows 95 backgrounds, right? Right. And it looks like a giant tree stump. It's supposed to be like a really, well, like she said, it's spiritual, but it's supposed to be like a really high energy place. Like it draws you. It like draws you to come there. And I thought it was really weird that tonight I almost used that for a thumbnail. Like, isn't that sad? I don't even remember what the hell I used for a thumbnail. That's how tired I am. Like, not tired physically, like my brain is like sunburnt. What the hell did I use for a thumbnail tonight, y'all? I thought I used the platypus. No, I did use that.
I thought you used the rock.
I did end up using it. See, I changed it at the last minute. Forgot I changed it. What the hell? Y'all don't mind me.
If you ever come to Australia, we'll go to the rock together.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, it's on my bucket list. Like, I'm coming over there. It's just a matter of planning and making sure Craig would be okay without me for a couple weeks. Because I'm definitely coming. Like, believe that. I am definitely coming over there. Okay, so
I'll be waiting at the airport. Now, this is an interesting story. Valerie Eastwell went missing in 1945. This guy gives a better rundown than what I could. I have some pictures of her family now. Golgol is just over the river from me. I actually wanted to go over and show people where she went missing and a few things, but I didn't get there, so never mind. But yeah, this is a really interesting story.
and this is her little face. Such a pretty girl.
You wouldn't think in the desert where we live there would be so many bloody red-headed kids. I'm redhead, my sister's redhead, 2 of my girls are redhead. There's redheads all over the desert.
I have a redhead. Tater's a redhead. I've sent you pictures of Tater, didn't I?
Yes, beautiful hair. That's the same color hair as my granddaughter.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful.
She's such a pretty girl. All right,
I think
beat him up a little bit. His Can-Am Missing Projects link is in the chat. Yeah, I love Far. PJ says you should be a teacher. Yeah, and we have the Devil's Tower.
Me?
Yeah.
No, not with no. Could you imagine kids that have nightmares with my voice? Fuck.
No, they wouldn't.
Jesus.
We all love you.
Oh God. I need therapy for years.
What the hell? You're a mess. So this is Missing 411 with David Pilates. I always say his name wrong. You guys know who I'm talking about. A girl in Australia vanishes. The biggest search in their history. So this was the biggest search in Australian history.
Well, I was born 20 years after this, but my family and a lot of people that I know searched, and the search went for about 3 months. Yeah, around 3 months. The river was probably dragged 5, 6 times. Marshes were pulled up. Yeah, he mentions the sandhills in this. Now, unless there were other sandhills around in 1945 that I don't know that are being pushed down now to make room for whatever, the only sandhills I know are the Perry Sandhills. Now, they're 62 miles away or 100 kilometres from where Valerie went missing. But he does mention it, but yeah, that's the distance. That's about all I can tell you. And he also mentions on one day the weather. So I looked up the weather, and on that day there was thunderstorms. Now, it was the middle of August she'd gone missing, so all the rolling on and that was done. It was coming into spring, so there wasn't much to be done on the blocks. So people could, go out and search a bit. But by December, yeah, watering and everything had to be done for picking time.
Oh, wow. Wow. Arctic says he would have loved to have had you as a teacher. Hi, Thor. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so we're going to use this under fair use. I'm going to pop the copyright up. Okay. Let me see if I can move this up where it doesn't cut the... no. What happened? Y'all, it done went crazy. Over here pushing buttons. Alright, I'm trying to get it where it doesn't cut the bottom of the video off. There we go. All right, guys, here we go.
Hey there, friends. Steve Politis, Can-Am Missing Project. This is Huck TV. And there's Huck. Huck is the magic dog. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. She is the executive producer of the show. She is demanding. Yeah, good girl. Yeah. Oh, yeah, good girl. Yeah, good girl. Yeah. What's that smell you got there, huh, Dad? Scratch me. Oh, yeah, good girl. Yeah. Yeah. One more time. Yeah, I know. You want me to do that all the time. So she's going to stick on, make sure I do the show right. And the thing about Pyrenees, see how she can tuck her paw under, like make it go 90 degrees? She does that all the time. It's amazing. German Shepherds can't do that. All right. So we got quite a show for you today, folks. I got to say, it's only one case, but it's an amazing case. And you're going to get blown away. That's all I'll tell you about the case today. But somebody sent me something. It says, I've enjoyed your K9 411 shows for years. Since the first broadcast, I heard it on Art Bell, George Norrie, Coast to Coast. Shows where you spoke for 2 to 3 hours. Oh, those were lengthy. Speaking in a chill voice, telling the coolest stories about missing people and cryptids, you hooked me. Oftentimes when I'm driving around with my 4 kids, 6, 8, 11, and 13, we put on your show. It was one of my oldest kids that got me hooked into Bigfoot, and your show would talk about one of their favorite subjects. Keep doing what you are doing. I'm showing a couple of our discs for you so you can hear what we've been doing. If you ever need intro music or music for future film, please consider using our copyrights for free. And Paul sent me this. Poker Face. Songs for the Revolution. Sex, Lies, and Politics. Thanks a million, Paul. I greatly appreciate it. I got to get through these because I got to thank you guys for doing what you're doing. Next one. Dear Dave, this isn't much, but know you'll do an excellent job for the next film. The first 3 were great. Never miss your videos on YouTube. Another memo book with stickers all over it. And a bunch of stickers. Bigfoot stickers. You guys are too nice. Too nice. Thank you so much. I greatly, greatly appreciate what you guys do. And it does not go forgotten. Trust me, folks. It does not go forgotten. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. One thing. We are in the struggle period to get this film financed. Now, we have tens of. In my time researching missing people, I've probably read way 10,000 search and rescue reports, missing person reports, news articles, etc. At the time, I've got to say the story I'm going to tell you right now, I'd never heard about it until about 3 weeks ago. And then when I found it, it blew me away. Really. Some news I've been saying, oh, Dave, I just hate old cases. Mistake. Case I'm going to tell you about 1945. In the mid-1940s, our world was going through a lot of changes. And there were a lot of things happening. A lot of paranormal and unworldly things happening. And if you've read books, you know that a lot of strange disappearances happened in that period of time. One of the most prolific states for disappearances of kids at the time, Pennsylvania. Australia wasn't exempt from these things as well, as you're going to find out. Now, as I talk you through this disappearance, I want you to think about all the profile points and think about what life was like in 1945 compared to today. Here we go. The girl's name was Valerie Eastwell. It's a picture of Valerie, the best one I could find. And the black marks are on the print. She was 9 years old. She went missing August 15th, 1945 at 11:30 a.m. She was 3 feet 6 inches tall, weighed 58 pounds. And she went missing from a place called Bulgol, Australia. Might as well get to that too, right? So this is Melbourne right here. This is a little town called Mildura. And right next to Mildura is Gogol. They're right next to each other, with Mildura being the big town. And right outside of this is a national park. You got it? Okay. As we get closer, I'm going to show you another map. Now, in Valerie's family, they had 10 kids. Valerie was the youngest. She lived with her parents, Mr. and Mrs. George Eastwell. The father was a woodcutter. They had 5 boys, 5 girls in the family. 3 of the brothers were in military service when Valerie disappeared. Now, she disappeared, and the article said she went missing on VP Day. Now, you people in Australia may know that. I had no idea what it is. On the day she disappeared, Valerie was playing with neighborhood kids. She did every day. And at about 11:30, she told them that she was going to go home and eat lunch. It wasn't a long walk at all, maybe a house or two. Kids saw her walking in that direction. Now, their home was on the outskirts of the city. And right near her home was a swampy area, a creek, Gogol Creek, Murray River. And Valerie never made it home. And almost immediately, Mrs. Eastwell started searching, got the other kids in the family to search as well. Kids confirmed she was last seen walking in that direction. So somewhere very near her home, she vanished. Later that afternoon, she called the police, and Mildura police responded in that afternoon hour, took a report, and started to set up. About this time, in the local papers, another story started to come out that Valerie was going to walk 2.5 miles to a relative's home. That was not true. She was playing with kids near her home and went home for lunch. On that first day, August 15th, Mildura police had already started to search. They already decided that they needed assistance to search because they didn't have enough people and they weren't having any luck. So imagine the situation as this house sits near the outskirts of the city. I'll show you this. Now this is the yellow area is Gogol. This is Lake Gogol. At the time of the disappearance, this lake was dry. Now running right through the city, this is the Murray River. This area out in here, all swampy. At the time she disappeared, swamps everywhere. Mildura is the bigger city, Gogol the very much smaller city, but they're almost next door to each other. When I look at this part of Australia, lakes everywhere, water everywhere, like no other area around. Just putting it in perspective for you. Again, this is the area of the disappearance. You can see water outlining the area. Not a lot of water out here, but water all over this area. So Mildura police start putting out calls for more assistance. On August 16th, the Murray River was searched along with Gogol Creek by searchers that came into the area. Now, almost immediately, Mildura and Gogol residents heard about this and responded en masse. Gogol had one hotel, Gogol Hotel, and that was right from the start the search headquarters. And they cooperated. There were carloads of people that first day waiting at the hotel, going out to search big requests. Now, almost from the beginning, remember Gogol Lake I showed you north? Searchers have found tracks, child's tracks, up near Gogol Lake and Ronga. They made a request from the 5 carloads of searchers up into that area. And a local Boy Scout troop went as well. The 17th of August, same situation. On the 18th, from a request made by Mildura police on the 17th, the Australian Air Force sent 2 planes to fly over the swampy area. And they also had a black tracker that was an expert go into the bush and start searching. Stop. I really don't care what you guys think you know. But black trackers from Australia are some of the best trackers in the world, bar none. When I was in Australia, I was introduced to some people who knew these trackers. They said, Dave, it's like they have a sixth sense that we don't understand. Look for some of the most minute things that we would never even acknowledge was wrong in the ground, where somebody stepped, broke, bent. They said, no, they are phenomenal. I've heard that from way more than a couple of people. So having a black tracker on scene is huge. Aboriginal tracker. And that first day that he was on scene was the 18th, and he stayed out until very late at night. And the search kept moving out because they weren't finding anything. First, they went to 2 miles and 5 miles, and they were pushing out further from there. August 21st, 6 days after she disappeared, 1,000 residents were on the scene searching. And they also brought in 200 Air Force personnel were on the ground in some of the worst parts of the swamp. The scrub was searched in the Zignum swamp and some of the toughest areas to get through. And it wasn't so much that they expected that Valerie would voluntarily go there, but they meant to clear everything. And they had the Air Force planes flying low and slow to see anything unusual out there. August 22nd, 23rd, all same. The story got national attention across Australia and some international coverage as well, because it was such a mystery. They weren't coming up with anything. August 24th, 100 square miles had been searched by 1,100 men. And 2 police dogs from Sydney were on scene, 2 of the best police dogs in the world. The police gave some of their first theories about what may have happened here. A, she wandered into the bush and is lost. B, she fell into the river and drowned. Or C, there's some type of foul play or kidnapping. If you're in a missing 411, there's D, but they weren't acknowledging that. August 25th, 2 RAF Air Force planes still in the air searching. The Murray River was being dragged by dozens of people to ensure that they didn't miss a body in that river. That's impressive. They've been dragging for days. August 26th, residents in the area told the press that they believe there's some kind of foul play. Those 2 best canines in Sydney were still on scene and still searching. I've told you before that when searchers have a difficult time finding any type of evidence, it always goes towards foul play. It doesn't matter if the next day they find somebody in the water, they're always going to say, oh yeah, it looked like foul play then. Just ignore that. August 31st, the 2 Sydney dogs that were on scene, Zoe and Surrey, had been searching the swamp area when bad weather inundated, and it stated that it made life very difficult and hard for searchers. Not sure, because they didn't say what the weather was, but that's all they said. September 1st, searchers heard screams 14 miles from Gogol. They had searchers that far out, about 2 weeks after she disappeared. Now, dogs were in the area of the dried up swamp when their handler said that they seemed anxious. Never heard dog handlers use that term, anxious. But the searchers tried to track down the screams they heard, and they couldn't find anything. Valerie's dad was in there, said she was a super smart girl. She was afraid of the water and would not get near it, her dad said. He said, I have no doubt she's nowhere near the water. And this part of the story got national publicity. The story about her dad's statement said that this incident is in one of the most desolate and inaccessible locations in this part of Australia. And there's some really difficult locations in Australia. So for them to say that must have been rough. September 3rd, a man named Wiley, who's a detective inspector, was put in charge of the case, head of investigations. He said he had looked over all the evidence that had been accumulated and lack of evidence. And he said that he had the theory that Valerie followed kids across Gogol and into the wild tapio country of 224,000 acres. And they found some of those tracks out in that area of the kids, of a child. And they were of the belief that those were made by Valerie. No evidence, but what would a small child be doing way out there? Nighttime temps in the area were described as bitterly cold. Now, Zoe and Surrey, the canines from Sydney, were still working ahead of the searchers. And the area around Gogol posted a $100 reward for anything that led to Valerie. Again, we've talked about search rewards before. It's an effort to keep people in the field looking. September 4th, focus now is on the area 14 miles from Gogo because that's where they heard the screams, remember? All searchers were transported from the post office in the city and taken out to the area for free. September 5th, the police get a report of a child close to Valerie's description seen in Gumela 3 weeks ago, maybe just after her disappearance, about the time she vanished. Well, Detective Wiley dispatched a team of detectives into that city and into that region to sort out what was true about that. And detectives stated that the searchers and the dogs would stay on scene until this case was solved. Well, up to this point, I've got to say that very few searches in this time in history had gone on this long, with this much push by people, dogs, airplanes. Unbelievable. Well, September 8th, Mrs. Eastwood was interviewed by the press. She said that her daughter had never traveled more than a mile from her home. Next thing is very interesting to me. She said that Valerie had just recently had her tonsils removed and still was healing and hadn't healed completely. Remember how many times I've told you that people who disappear have some kind of disability or injury that we may know nothing about? That was just like a little 2-line in the 400 articles I reviewed. Little 2 lines in one of those articles. And I thought, I didn't see that anywhere else. September 10th, a search team found bicycle tracks that went from Gogo to an area beyond the Sand Hills. So Valerie's dad, George, and her older brother decided that they were going to track that and find out where it went. They tracked it for miles and eventually got onto really hard ground and they lost it. They went ahead and searched for many more miles. They couldn't see where it picked up again. It's like it disappeared. An article stated at this point that donations for the searchers were pouring in from cities hundreds of miles away. Here's why. The people that are searching had to walk away from their jobs, the prime source of income. Searchers got to eat. They got to drink. And how that happens? If it's not supplied by the city or the victim's family, people aren't going to stay on site. They got to go home, and you need them on site. So wives and things are feeding searchers. It's got to happen that way. I know it seems absurd, but that's the truth of it. September 11th. Same search continues. Inspector Wiley gave a recent press release that the Murray River was still being dragged for miles. The banks of Gogo Creek were being monitored daily, and multiple dog teams were still on site. Unbelievable effort. September 12th. Father, George Eastwell. They tried to interview him. People said that the man hardly slept. And he had reported a hike over 200 miles in an effort to find his daughter. Stop right there. The number of times I've read about fathers missing children and just pouring out their heart and soul to find them, it's something that's indescribable. Where do they get the stamina? Where do they get the drive to keep it going? It's that bond between children and parents. September 13th. Expert Australian trackers, this time a sergeant in the police from Sydney named Sergeant Riley. Worldwide known expert came in to back up the black tracker that had been working nonstop. The reward now was raised to $200. The paper made it a point to say this, and I think it's a valid point. Why bring in a tracker after the ground had been searched by canines and hundreds of ground searchers and bad weather? It would seem as though that area had been trampled down. But the fact is, he was brought in. So at this point, September 13th, she disappeared on the 15th. You have almost 4 weeks of nonstop searching. 4 weeks. How many times have I told you about a search going on this long? I don't remember one. And for 1945, when life was tough, wow. September 21st, jump ahead a week. Valerie was allegedly seen in a city called Hopetown, about 120 miles from her house, Detective Wiley dispatched a team of detectives to go out there and track down that story. And this is smart. I've told you before that once you get people's picture out in the world, everybody sees them. It's just the way the life is. It's not that they really saw them, but they're looking so hard and people are trying to be good. They think they see somebody close and they want to report it. September 22nd, detectives determined that the hometown sighting was not Valerie. September 23rd, a press report stated that the Eastwell case is the longest and biggest search in Australian history. The same article stated that all of this effort has produced nothing. You get that, folks? Nothing. Detective Inspector Wiley was interviewed and said Valerie was not murdered, but wandered into the bush. Stark fact at the bottom of the article, after 5 weeks, police don't have a clue. October 1st. Searchers extended to north of Limestone Tank and the area was searched systematically. Every paddock within 20 miles was searched. Big effort. Question, when you get that far out, as long as the canines are in front of the searchers and they're given Valerie's scent every day, they will pick up that scent and track. And especially when they boast that they have 2 of the best dogs in Australia from Sydney, I don't understand why, like Wiley said, if she's out there, why aren't the dogs tracking? I don't know. October 10th, search of the swamp and the scrub area was still going on. Police still searching the Murray River and Gogo Creek. October 12th, Wombera region was searched. And Sergeant Riley, the tracker, are still working ahead of the searchers with no evidence found. November 4th, Valerie's brother, Keith, searchers in bush. The RAAF launched a motor launch and dragged the Murray River for a week. Again, this is an area that had been covered 4, 5, 6 times. And again, in an article, it said Valerie is described as very intelligent. Her dad said there's no way she would go into the bush voluntarily. Father said she would never get into a car. Searchers said almost every inch of ground within 5 miles of the point last seen were searched. But the article said that they were going out 10 miles, 20 miles. Is that ridiculous? Search guidelines today say in the area that they were, a 7 to 9 child will be found 95% of the time 7 miles or less from the point last seen. They were on it. They were in the area. I was trying to think through what I would have done on this search that they haven't done. The only thing I could say is maybe from the very beginning, loop all the way around and get on the back side of that swamp and search inward rather than starting at the point last seen like outward. So many times I told you that a child can be found many miles outside the zone where they think they're going to be found. And I would say that on this case just because they had 1,100 searchers. Throw 100 of them out there at the backside and bring them in. Where you don't have many searchers, I understand not doing that. Now, at about this time, in mid-November, the Australian government brought in some tractors, and the area near Valerie's home, 12 acres of swamp, mushy area, were all tracked up by the government and searched. 12 acres. She wasn't there. That was impressive. Every inch of ground for 5 miles was searched. That's a heavy statement to make, folks. Because I would think, well, what happens if a year from now she's found in that search area, right? Well, you and I know, but back in 1945, they weren't thinking that. November 10th, there was an article that said the police are absolutely baffled. November 24th, trackers and searchers still on scene. And then finally on December 4th, search is abandoned. 15 weeks. A phenomenal effort. A world-class effort. One I've never seen. My hearts and prayers go out to the searchers that gave their time in trying to find Valerie. On April 5th, 5 months after the search ends, press go back to the police and ask, hey, is there anything new, any clues? Nothing new, no new clues. We're exactly where we were at when we stopped searching. May 24th, 1946. Again, she disappeared April 15th, 1940. The world famous police dog that was brought in for Sydney and used for 4 weeks on this search, Zoe, died unexpectedly in Sydney. That made news. I think that's weird. Just saying. So I don't like early in life usually because they're so well fed and kept and they go to time. I mean, it's bizarre. So go over this real quick. The longest search in modern Australian history. Thousands of acres were searched. The Gold Creek was emptied of water for miles just to ensure that she wasn't in there. The Murray River was dragged for almost 10 miles and then utilized by RAF boat and dragged for additional miles. Nothing. The swamps in the area, gone over with a fine tooth comb. Dogs crisscrossed that area for months. The best canines in Australia got nothing. And the best tracker, Sergeant Riley, got nothing. So I ask you, you know Missing 411. What happened to Valerie? I know all parents think their kids are smart. But Mr. Eastwell went out of his way to say she was super smart. She was very smart. What if I told you about intellects that go missing? Near water. There's water all over here. With no tracks. They did say that they found child tracks out there, but they went where? And then, if there were child tracks way out there, why didn't the canines pick up on her scent with those tracks? Which they should have. They didn't. So I doubt that those are, especially from the best dogs in Australia. And then trackers being used. You know that the trackers were put on those tracks. How did they lose them? I don't know. I really don't know. This is one of those cases, it's probably 1 in 10,000 disappearances in the bush, in the mountains. And I say that because there is no evidence. I mean, unless the neighbors said Valerie was there that day, which they did, there's no evidence she was even there. But the kids said they were playing with her. Her mom said she let her outside. But absent what the children said, nothing. Do you remember I've told you in the past that it just seems that these disappearances happen to large families? Do you ever remember me saying that? This family had 10 kids. Is that just pure coincidence? I don't think so. Sometimes it's hard to find how many kids are in a family because a lot of times it's never said. It never said in this article if Mr. Eastwell was home when this happened. So I don't know about that one. But Mrs. Eastwell was. 3 of the boys were in military service and weren't there. So that means we're saying 7 kids were there in the home, with Valerie being the youngest one at 9 years old. Now again, she's not a really big 9-year-old at 3'6" and 58 pounds. Not a real big target. So I ask you, what do you think? What could have happened here? If you listen to that, she would not have gone near water. She would not have gotten in a car voluntarily. If she was forced at 9 years old, she'd probably scream. No screams heard. Kids in that neighborhood saw nothing unusual. It's a big whodunit, folks. I appreciate you being here. Kindness is everywhere. You just have to look. It can be around you. How you hold yourself. People look at you, smile. Every time I walk into a room with Huck there, I smile. Hey, Huck, how you doing? Why? Because I want her to be a happy dog. Well, if we smile and we greet people at work or at the post office or at the store that way, you're going to get the same response. People like that. People always like somebody who's upbeat and happy. It's always true. And I know that may not be your persona, but just try it someday. It'll serve you well. Last thing, remember, I'll show you this. Give me another shot of Hub, too. There she is. She actually got walked around a little bit ago. So we got the Bigfoot cruise. And I know there's a lot of you that are thinking about one. Freeze frame that on the bottom right. Put your phone on it, and that'll give you all the news. Mariah Mayer's going, Dr. Jeff Meldrum. It's a Caribbean cruise in November 9th through.
Wow, that's a crazy story. And she's still never been found?
Nothing to this day.
Wow.
So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say. But I think I sent you a picture of her family. And the memorial. Now, the two women sitting on the memorial, they still live here. They are relatives of Valerie.
Is it in the article?
Pardon?
I got an article, but I don't see a picture of family.
I'll see if I can send it.
Okay. I got new testing of human remains could help identify Valerie and other missing persons. Let me see if it's in this. I did see 12 Gauge came in while we were running the video. If you're still here, 12 Gauge, definitely send me an email. Now I'm intrigued. Thank you, Thor, for being here. She's a beautiful young lady. It is wild that she's still missing. That's crazy. It's heartbreaking for the family, too. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me see what this other one is. Okay, let me pull this up on this side. It's going to take a second for you. Yeah, there we go. So these are photos of her. Aw. Police asked for public's aid in searching for missing girl. So this is the newspaper clip. And then this would be her family. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger for you guys. Nope, there it goes. Oh, well, popped me out completely. Let's try that again. Aww. Eastwell Family Gold Goal. NSW circa 1943. Wow. Wow. Valerie Dawn Eastwell, birth 18 July 1937, Gogo, Wentworth Shire, New South Wales, Australia. Death August 15th, 1945, 8 years old. Burial details are unknown. Specifically, missing body has yet to be found. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. In all those years, 80 years, and in all that
That's so
searching,
sad. Mm.
nothing. Yeah,
And you said these ladies are her family?
nothing.
Mm.
Yes, and that's the memorial plaque they are sitting on that's over at Golgol. Now, I didn't write their names down because I thought I'd remember them, but I don't.
Well, that's okay. Oh, bless their hearts. Mm. That's a long time to not have any answers at all. Yeah, I'm with you, Sunday. I don't understand
80
how
years.
dogs not picking up her scent. Because even back then, dogs would have been trained. Like, it wouldn't have been a new thing. Have a motivational issue. And they said, I wonder.
And like they said, they were the best 2 dogs in Australia they brought in.
Wow.
And yeah, and the black trackers, nothing, absolutely nothing.
And they're Aboriginal, right? The black trackers would be Aboriginals, and they would know that land better than anybody.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They can tell if you're carrying something when you're walking and how heavy it is, whatever it is, carry. Yeah, they're amazing. They truly are amazing.
That's so interesting. That's like our native trackers over here. I think there's only a handful of them left that actually do tracking. Like that little boy that went missing that they ended up finding in the river. They used one of our native trackers in that case, and law enforcement had been on the property and everything else, and they bring that tracker in. It was a lady, and I think it was a lady. They can correct me in chat if I'm wrong. And she ended up like seeing stuff that they couldn't see. You know what I mean?
Yes. They've got to let the natives of the land do what the natives do.
Right.
And they've got to listen to them. They know their own land.
I agree.
We know nothing.
I agree.
Let them do what they do because they're the best.
Yep.
They're the best. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah, and don't let their art be lost. For goodness sakes, you can't let it that. Oh, yeah. I don't know what to say. I have no words. You just can't let things like that be lost because once it is, it's gone. And yeah, so that's for Jake. We need the natives for the land and the search. And we do.
Paula wants to know, do they have a person of interest?
Nobody.
Nothing.
Absolutely nobody.
That's crazy. They literally.
And probably. Yeah, they have nothing. Absolutely nothing. And at Golgol in the 1940s, there was probably 50 people that lived there. Over here in Mildura, there was probably 10,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and she wouldn't have crossed the bridge. People would have seen that. It was the middle of the day. She was going home for lunch. Nothing. And it wasn't far between her house and the neighbour's house where she'd been playing.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely nothing.
Wow. That's crazy.
So yeah, it was just like she just went poof, gone. That was it. And nobody, no dog, no Aboriginal tracker, no. And as you heard, you know, the people of my town, they searched. They searched and they searched and they didn't give up. And these people aren't as good as Aboriginal trackers, but these men also knew the land here. They'd, yeah, and there was nothing. And this is tough land. This is, unless you've been here, I can't explain it. We're a pretty tough people.
Wow. Damn. Right. It is baffling. Absolutely baffling. That's crazy. And Far sent us a couple of articles here too. Let me pull this up over here. Make it kind of big. So this is Valerie Eastwell's disappearance still a mystery. Homicide detectives are baffled by the strange disappearance of an 8-year-old Valerie Eastwell from Gogo, who was last seen on August 15th. Detective Inspector Jay Wiley issued an appeal for people in a radius of 50 miles to Gogo to supply the police with the information that might throw a light on the case. Landholders surrounding the town requested to organize individual searches of their property. Assistance is required. Will be given by police with police dogs Zoe and Surrey. Information likely to have connection with the cold case be logged at the Gogo Hotel or Madeira and Wentworth police stations. Inquiries during the past 3 weeks have covered every aspect of the case. Reports of screams heard in the bush along the Swan Hill Road, 14 miles from Gogo, on the afternoon of the girl's disappearance, had been investigated without success. A report by a bus party that they had seen a girl answering Valerie's description in the company of an elderly man with outskirts of Cumandela was thoroughly investigated. It was discovered that the girl mentioned, although resembling the missing girl, was not connected to the case. And then here's the article that Far sent us. It says a party of police assisted by volunteers at Gogo, Madeira, and Wentworth combined a large area surrounding the Gogo Township. A systematic elimination of sections of Lingam Swamp and Gogo Creek have now been executed for the future search list. Police dogs Zoe and Shuri, like detectives and police involved in the search, were unrelenting in their investigations. Because of the nature of the county scrolled over several months of search parties were lost for several hours. A search of sand hills beyond the Lingam Swamp proved fruitless. Men followed bicycle tracks leading through the swamp towards the sandhills, but the tracks eventually disappeared into the hard ground. Investigations were made difficult by the presence of bicycle tracks made by searchers a week ago. Valerie was last seen walking between neighboring properties of both school and work and had been optional to mark victory in the Pacific. However, only those with the wireless like Eastwell family were the first with the news of not long after sunrise. School buses to collect children had already been set into motion, and many of those were unaware of the Allie's success to still attend class. Instead, she crossed Gogo Creek to a nearby property where her brother William was pruning vines to tell them the news, and it wasn't needed for work that day. She then returned home before walking to an adjacent property belonging to the Potter family to collect a lettuce. After again returning home, still wearing her school uniform, she left the lettuce in the string bag on a handle on the kitchen door before heading back to the same neighboring property to play with children there. Valerie's family believed she never made it the short distance back to her friend's house. When she failed to return home, the evening meal is one of the country's largest and most searches of all time. RAAF planned experience in black trackers were among more than 126 home crews and appeal of donations on behalf of the Eastwell family to assist in the search were received from almost every part of the district and had reached 64 pounds. Donations could be left at the office of Sunrazia Daily and were acknowledged of the columns of the newspaper. Her disappearance remains one of Sunrazia's enduring mysteries. Wow. And then here's the second article. Testing of human remains raises hopes of identifying missing persons. 8-year-old Valerie Eastwell went missing after a neighbor's house in Cocoa, NSW, to deliver message on August 15th, 1945. Now a new dedicated forensic laboratory used reconstruction not previously done in Australia for forensic genetic genealogy to attempt a match of 850 sets of humans with some 2,600 people listed missing on the National Register. The Australian Federal Police of the Canberra facility, which opened today, will analyze the range of remains catalogued as a part of an audit of the National DNA Program for the Unidentified Missing Persons, which began in 2020. These remains range from bone, teeth fragments, leg bones, and entire skeletons. May have been stored in morgues, forensic facilities for decades, some up to 70 years, said the program leader, Associate Professor Jody Ward. The oldest missing person on the register in Australia is Valerie. Professor Jody Ward stressed on Friday that a missing person such as Valerie weren't just a case of numbers, but known individuals with names, families, and stories. We know what some deceased individuals may have died from a crime, some from misadventure or land or sea. You can't tell by looking at the remains unless there is obvious trauma. Our job is to reveal their identity, and then police will investigate the circumstances. We can't do that until we know who they are. And then this is Jody Ward examining the skeletal remains. Professor Ward urged anyone related to the 2,600 people who have been missing for more than 3 months to provide a laboratory with DNA reference sample, along with recovering DNA profiles from the bones. We need DNA profiles from the relatives of every missing person, Associate Professor Ward said. We are also seeking the missing person's personal effects, medical samples, dental records, physical information, and photographs. That could be DNA from close biological relatives, such as DNA from a mom, a dad, or a missing child, to compare the DNA to the bones and remains, said Professor Ward. So something like a toothbrush or a baby tooth, a lock of hair, or the newborn screening card the police could use to compare those remains. Professor Ward also asked that any member of the public who was using genealogy sites such as Ancestry.com to elect to make DNA material available to law enforcement. This could also identify a missing person. The facility will also start the first ever cranial facial reconstruction in Australia. This process combines artistry with technology, using DNA characteristics to identify the ancestry, the skin, eye color, and hair color to provide a face of a missing person. It will give us leads, and we will use scientific methods like DNA to confirm the identity, said Professor Ward. The DNA program launched to reduce the number of outstanding missing persons and is funded by proceeds of the Crime Act of 2002. It allows the Commonwealth to redirect ill-gotten gains back to the community. Minister of Home Affairs Karen Andrews said that she hoped it would provide answers to the families and friends who had spent many years searching and waiting for news of their missing loved ones. Families of long-term missing persons, those missing for more than 3 months, should register their interest in the program by emailing DNA program at afp.gov.au or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-333-000. Wow. So they're just now starting DNA in Australia?
Yep. We're just now starting it. We're a bit behind.
Wow.
It should help though. Yeah, and our numbers aren't up there like yours, but if those 2,300 families do put in DNA, maybe some of our cold cases will be solved.
Wow. Wow. Mm. I hope so. That's so sad. That is so sad.
Oh, it's very sad.
Mm. Mm. Damn.
So that's Valerie's story. And yeah, nobody can explain it to this day.
Mm.
Still nothing has been found. Bones have been found around here, but none of them Valerie's, and none of them, apart from Aboriginal bones that have come through with floods and that, none of them are as old as Valerie's case.
Mm. Damn. My heart breaks for the family that's still here. It's been a long time, but it doesn't change the pain.
No. It's, 80 years is a long time.
Mm.
Yeah, most of the family are passed, apart those that sort of come after that were just little or weren't born when she went missing. It's still to this day, it has the town baffled. It's still talked about. There's none of the searchers basically left. I did find 2 searchers that were still alive, but they're in the dementia ward.
Damn.
But apart from that, there's nothing.
Mm.
So I hope everybody enjoyed that tonight anyway. The
Well, I
poems,
did.
the birds, and Valerie's story. Next week I'll bring you one that's a lot more recent. It's a girl that went, mother that went missing 2 months ago. Her car was found 2 weeks ago and still no sign of her. So next week we'll do that one.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I enjoy doing our Aussie Sundays.
I'm loving it.
I love doing our Aussie Sundays. It's awesome.
It actually makes me happy bringing some of Australia to America, even our cases, because I think we have some, we've got some pretty strange cases.
Yeah, and it's good to bring light to the cases too. Yeah, it's really good to bring light to the cases, and
Oh,
then
yes.
we see so much on the cases that are here, on our side of the pond. But I'm on Twitter, and like Arctic and Doodle and Kimber and other people that are here in the chat, they see a lot of cases that are international because of the missing groups that we're in. But a lot of people, they don't get the experience of listening to the cases. And I can guarantee that they don't get the experience of listening to the cases from our FARQ. So that's something that we have that they don't have. Peggy wants to know if there was much vehicle traffic where she went missing from. Like, was it like a main road or just a? Well, Far said there was 50 people that populated the town. So would it have been like traffic from outside, possibly?
There's a highway that goes through Gold that leads to Swan Hill, but no, not in 1945. Yeah, we're very, very, very isolated.
Right.
It's extremely isolated. The closest town with anything in it is 2.5 hours from us. Our capital city, Melbourne, is 7 hours from us. We're very isolated in Mildura.
Wow. Yeah, Peggy. Peggy's right. It is interesting hearing about cases from other countries. I think it is too, and that's why I really love that we started doing the Aussie Sundays, because originally, Far would just send me cases and I would make videos on them and I would upload the videos onto my channel. And we had talked about, coercing her up on panel for 2 years now. And finally she agreed to it, and I was like, sweet. Now we're going to get her up here and she can give us firsthand, the stories in the area. And because everything we see, it's from TV or movies or freaking where they build movie sets, you know what I mean? So we really don't get to see the actual heart of Australia.
Yep, I get that. That's a bit like Hollywood movies. That was what I knew about America. And Hollywood movies lie.
Yeah. Welcome in, Stolen Spirits. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Lighting the Way says, I love Aussie Sundays as long as Far doesn't steal my ice cream. PJ and her damn ice cream.
I'm coming for it.
Ooh, she's coming for your ice cream.
You promised me ice cream, PJ.
Ooh, they started making freeze-dried ice cream for our spacemen. Hi, Butterfly. Thank you so much for being here. And I know I saw Brutally earlier when the video was playing in 12 gauge. So if you guys are still in here, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate you guys being here with us on our Aussie Sundays. This is really important to me to do this. Far is my day one. Oh, it's Brady. Hi, Brady. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Arctic and Kimber, for dropping Stolen Spirits link in the chat. Thank you so much. But I love this. I love it a lot because, you guys don't realize it. Me and Far talk on a daily basis. I mean, this weekend I was busy with the car show, and I don't think I actually talked to hardly anybody because I was so just bleh by the time I got home. But we talk on a daily basis. Like, she's become family. My boys call her Aunt Jody, and we're bonded. And she's my day one. She was my very first mod on the channel. She's been with me through thick and thin, hell and high water, the whole 9 yards. She's seen them come. She's seen them go. She's seen them come back. She's seen all the things over here on the channel. So it's an honor to be able to get her to come up. I've got her a package ready. I've got this stuff from Bethany, Flatix bracelets that you were promised. I got you one of each. The beaded one the girls made.
Yay.
This one here, they actually made the beaded ones at the car show. And then I grabbed you one of these too, the rubber band type ones, silicone or whatever it is.
Oh, yes.
Too. And then I included a keychain, a pin, and a bookmark that Mr. Steve from TrueCrime Web made too in your box. And of course,
thank you.
There'll be some channel goodies in there too. But the girls actually sat at the car show and made bracelets. Irina was pumping them out like a machine, man. We had a stack of them suckers. So it's not only handmade by Vladic sisters, but it was made at the car show. Can't beat it.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
thank the sisters.
I will let them know. They're amazing. Like, they really are amazing. They're beautiful women. Oh, and I've got to tell you, so I finally sent Minnie his hi love, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. Um his coffee Doritos. Girl, let me tell you. Well, everybody, but Far, let me tell you. So he opens the box of the I sent him a care package. And he pulls out and he goes, "Coffee Doritos?" I was like, "Those are from Australia. Those are from your Aunt Jody." And he's like, "Oh, wow, I love them." You know, he was so excited about them. And then he was like, "I don't know, Mom. I don't know about coffee flavored Doritos." And I was like, "Listen, you cannot eat those at night because you won't sleep." And he's reading the bag and he's like, "Wow. Um, these have like energy in them." I was like, "Exactly. That's why I told you not to eat them before you go to bed." So he calls me like an hour later, and you can hear him like crunching down on these chips, and he didn't kill the whole bag. He was like, "Mom, these are amazing. They're so good. I can't stop eating them." I was laughing so hard. But I sent him 2 bags.
Oh, I'm so glad he liked
Oh my
them.
goodness.
You know, I was never going to try them. Yeah, and they're gone now because they were only a special thing.
Oh.
So yeah, I didn't try them, but I'm so glad everybody in America seemed to like them.
They all think they're the greatest thing in the world. Even ate them on live on TikTok. You know, she got the I think it was 30,000 likes in the TikTok live that night, and she said she'd eat one. And the next thing we know, she's live and she
was
down
tired
and was just for sound. It was just like I loved it. It was so great.
Wasn't it?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. Look, Danny said, "I told my guy about the coffee Doritos and he turned up his nose." Yeah, until they get there, Dandy, and then he'll be in your bag. Then he'll be all off in your bag. Because let me tell you what, I don't even get the tape off the box. Like when the package comes from Australia from Far, I don't even get the tape off the box. And Craig's like, are the Doritos in there? Did you send me Tam Tams this time? Get the fuck back. Back up.
Oh, God, love him, bless his heart. Oh, lots of goodies to try next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go.
And I've got some things for Beth to try online again.
Oh, she'll love that. Here you go, Arctic. When I send your next package out, I've got you a bag right here. I will send you a bag of the coffee Doritos. They're back here with my dot painting.
Oh, wonderful.
I will send those.
You'll have to let us know what you think.
Yes, you will. Arctic says, "I'll be willing to try them. We don't ever get cool shit like that here in the States." I will send you a bag because I have a couple of bags left after I sent them out to everybody and to my boys. People Doritos then stop them sounds
next package has got meat pie and sausage roll CCs.
Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Stolen Spirits. Vladic Castle is a case that is very, very close to my heart. We had the car show this weekend. I'll pull up. Let's see. What can I pull up? I'm trying to decide what do I pull up here. And I'll show you Bethany and Irene are Vladic Castle's sisters. they make these beaded bracelets. They're the different colors of green and black that were God's favorite color, and then they say find, and there's a heart in between, and then Vladik on them, and the little beads. I have a post. I might have a picture in my stuff. Give me just a second, guys. I don't know if I can make this big or not. We'll see. Can let me make it big? See if it'll let me make it big, and I'll show you guys the bracelets. Okay, so you can kind of see the bracelets here in the corner over here by Vladik's small poster. And then I'll make myself big for a second. And I'll show you the bracelets. See? They're beaded bracelets. Then they say Vaughan Vladik Castle, and then they're green. And his sisters actually make these bracelets. And Far had said that she would really like to have one night when we did TikTok Tuesday. So the girls' bracelets, then I grabbed those for Far. Make myself small again. But this, for those of you guys that didn't see earlier, this was our table for the car show, day one. The wind was not our friend. But we had the Mind Monster stuff. These are the little pins that were made by Mr. Steve and Mrs. Steve. And then the bracelets back here, these are car magnets. These are the rubber bracelets. And then we had my sister made some MMIW cups and koozies like that go over a can. And we had stickers, and we have MMIW keychains, and we had Aiden Kloon's flyer, Danielle Bell's, the gentleman that's missing off of iDrive. I had Vladik flyers, and Vladik's flyers, and Sebastian Rogers. I had his flyer on the table as well, and then our Real Crime team. I don't think I posted the YouTube picture on my YouTube. Guys, my brain is like, blah. I love meat pies. One of my employees in the day, his was Australian, so they traveled back and forth a lot, and he made me a pan. I ate the whole pan. I ain't even messed up with it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The whole pan. Let me see. That's the search for Aiden. Yeah, here's the picture from day 2. And I'll show you guys this picture because you can kind of see it a little better. So this pile back here is the bracelets, and then we had the bookmarks. We had the Amber Alert, Tanya Whip, the Real Crime team with all of our QR codes on there, Aiden's guitar. Then channel merch was kind of spread out. And then these were coolers that we had ice water in, like all 3 of these. The one that was holding the easel up because the easel kept trying to run off. And then we had the coffee cups. And then I had chips too because Saturday people were pulling in their kids. So we were pulling kids into the table with the chips. So this was our table. Far, what did you think about?
Table looks great.
That's what I was going to ask you. What did you think about the table?
I won't taste them either. Oh, the table looks great.
I was so stressed out to have people. Oh, so what did here in the States. They get you lacking something and they're like, oh, this is just seasonal or this is a special event. You can see this till year, assholes.
Oh, you did such a great job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, suck the asshole, truly. Oh, yeah, no, it looked wonderful. It really did. You did a great job. Hats off to you all.
Thank you so much. The first day it was super windy, so I like spent a lot of my time chasing flyers down the side. All right. And then day 2, I had already got it on lockdown and I had taped everything down. Packing tape and I had binder clips. I was armed with both. And I was just like, nothing else is flying today. So this is day 1 and day 2. Squished together. This is a short on my channel, guys. You can go take a look at it. I'm just gonna put it quickly here. Here we are at the park, advocating for black grass. Aiden Quinn, Danielle Hill, David Russ, our real crime team, the guitar, Aiden Quinn, this is my community ball, definitely scan it, and ArcticFox's Amber Alert reform. Forgot if you see something, say something. And this is me and Bethany Doodle sniped this from the live that I did. So this is so cute. Is it going to let me back it up? Let's see if I can pause it fast enough. This was a toilet. Do you see it, Fart? It had the magazine on the side over here. It was a little toilet. And it had real toilet paper on it.
Love it.
It had legit like a roll of toilet paper. And then, of course, you know, he had to get in the background here. But here we are at the car show.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, look at this. I was like, I need that in my life. Danielle Bell. Well, now my fingers got it. David Russ. Crime team. Aiden Quinn. This is on my community. My swamp signal is going to kick in. There it goes. Definitely scan it. Wi-Fi Tanya Whip. And ArcticFox's Amber Alert reform. Remember, guys, if you see something, say something. Here we are, guys. We're at the car show. We're advocating. We've got Bethany, Irina, and Aiden's family here. Thank you so much. Make sure you share the video, like, and subscribe. And if you're in Orlando, stop by the tent. Here we are at the car show. So much, Brady. I was mad. It really was. Like, I'm so proud of my team that I have on my team here. We do amazing things together. And then I highlighted the flyers. Some flyers, all flyers. This was day 2, so the table looked a little different. We were right beside the DJ booth. It's kind of loud. There's Mikey. I read him. Here we go. This is our anthem for. These are some of the cars that were in the museum. And these were Mustangs that were outside. Pretty babies. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I have her. I can't give away what I have in her box, Chris, but I have her lots of different things in her box. I want her to be surprised when she gets her box. I didn't do Cool Ranch Doritos, but there is a American version of Doritos in her box, but I don't want to give away the surprise. I got her some really cool stuff in there.
I'm bloody terrible. I give it away every time. I can't.
I will show you one thing that I got. I will show you one thing. Let me make myself big. Okay. I will show you one thing out of the box.
Can't help it.
Can you see them?
Ooh, I can't wait. Hang on, the color's behind.
Okay.
I'm just about to see it. Yes, I see it. Yeah. Oh, I love him. Oh, yes. I love him.
That's your only.
I can't wait. That's coming into our winter. Oh,
it's your only sneak peek you're
thank
getting
you.
out of the box. I had to. I saw them and I was like, oh, I gotta get these for far. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, Far. Thank you for coming and spending your Monday, our Sunday with us on our Aussie Sunday, Aussie Monday for Far, and bringing that case to us, and the beautiful birds and the poems and the stories. And then Arctic came in and made me feel like a dirty old woman.
I know. I know. How dare he? How dare he do that?
I may or may not have favorited that video on my TikTok. So.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Mum, once again. Hope everyone enjoyed it. And I will catch you next week.
All right, love.
See ya.
Love you. Thank you for coming up. Thank you guys all for being here and spending our Aussie. Wow, I'm really big. Let me fix that. Good Lord, I look rough. Whew, Lord, I'm glad y'all love me, because I be looking rough. Thank you so much, Nicole, and thank you for hanging out here with us as always. I appreciate you guys. Everybody have a beautiful night, and thank you for you all being amazing human beings and all being wonderful human beings and being here and listening to the cases and engaging with the cases and asking those questions and doing all the things. Guys, I am totally spent and exhausted. I'm probably going to be going and laying down here shortly. Make sure that if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up, share out the video. Tell your friends about Mind of Monsters. Have them come over and check us out. We do really good things over here. We engage with empathy. We do all the things. And we have Aussie Sundays. So who else on the interwebs has Aussie Sundays with a straight up Aussie human being that is amazing, that comes and hangs out with us? That's our very own Far. You know, many women ran to their computers to Google Robert Irwin's age after that came out. Oh my God, Arctic. You're very welcome, Paula. Thank you so much for being here. Far says, thank you all. Have a good sleep, Mom. Stay safe. Love and light to all, and love and light to you, Far, as well. All right, guys, remember, if you see something, say something. It takes a village to raise a child. Never give up. And I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side.